So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own spooks. So we've got our tools that we need, and we got the lathe spinning already. So we're going to start with each side, how long you want the bait. Start with the taper on both sides, so your spook has 2 points, like a starting. Since we have our 2 points now, we're going to start tapering the bait from thick to skinnier. And I always like to start my skinny side first. So once you find the shape, what you have to do is start figuring out when you want to start tapering it and when you want to sand it. So there's the base of our bait, and then we're going to cut both sides off. So the next part is we are going to put holes for the eyes, and make sure you use a smaller drill bit than you are for your actual eyes. That way your eyes will stay in tight once you epoxy them in. So we'll start with the nose, make sure it's centered. Drill slow, work your way in. I do the first one and then the back one. Those are the first two I always do. There's your first 2 holes, and then you decide where you want your, if you want to do 3 hooks, you go 1, 2, or if you want to do 1, just put 1 there. Sometimes usually in most of my spooks, I only use 2 hooks anyway. And the last hole that we're going to do is for when we add the weight. So make sure it's centered, and then what you want to do is put this one at a diagonal. You don't want to put it straight in like that, you want to put it in like that. And then we'll start with a small drill bit, and then work your way up with the bigger drill bit. you put in will fit, like that. I use a drop shot weight or a mojo weight because I like the slenderness, so it's easy to slide in and fit with the bait, like that. And then we'll put the epoxy in right there. So I've got our epoxy mixed, and the next thing we're gonna do is just take a toothpick, and you have your two eyes for where your hooks are gonna go, and then I use a bigger one for the nose. So simply, I just like to take the toothpick, take the tip, just put a little in, just so a little epoxy can get on the inside. Stamper it. Take the eye, dip in a little bit of epoxy, and simply start screwing it in. And repeat the same step with the other hole. And the last part that I do is I take this powder stuff. It's kind of like you put it with the epoxy and it just kind of thickens it. You want to place it in there. You want to put a little in there before you put the weight in, so it really bonds in there well. So this is where you can get creative. You could add lighter weights, heavier weights, or you can simply just add a rattle. It's all personal preference. That's where you can kind of be creative with this. So you stick the weight in, it'll slide in because of your hole. You want to shove it in there, make sure it's in pretty tight. And then you want to take that epoxy goo and then drop it in. Now you want to let it dry. Make sure it's leveled. So that's your filler, and there's your bait. Now the final part is your paint. So this is where you can get really creative to the patterns you want and the colors you want. I just use spray paint. You could probably airbrush it, would be better. But I don't have an airbrush, so I'm just gonna put a light coat on. Let your first coat dry, put another coat on, start adding colors. Here's the final version of the spook. And now I'm going to show you a little bit of the action that it has on.